What if I told you there were several myths about quick swapping?
On? I think.
You're a double gunning dick and you know it.
I am, sir, I am.
I'll go over there, Jeff.
Dude, this guy got 2 fucking guns. I'm dead.
They're gonna sink.
Now, this is a controversial one.
Season 10 has been out a few weeks, and one of the most hotly debated topics is the removal of animation canceling between two guns, or quick swapping. Previously, someone double gunning could shoot one gun, then swap to the next gun, followed quickly by sprinting, allowing them to aim and shoot their second weapon without completing the draw animation. On October 11th, Rare published a Sea of Thieves news update, where production director Drew Stevens provided an overview of the reasoning behind the changes.
Season 10 is going to remove the benefit that some players gained when equipping two ranged weapons, when they used a technique to switch between those weapons and fire two shots faster than intended. We appreciate that changing something that has become muscle memory for a lot of players is a challenge, but we feel confident that this levels the playing field for all players that are using two ranged weapons as a weapon loadout, not just those who have mastered the technique.
The problem with this reasoning is that the change in speed between shots does not change the outcome of the fight where the double gunner is hitting both shots. It also shows a lack of understanding as to why canceling animations is important. Not to shoot faster, but to maintain agile movement while lining up the second shot and knowing that the follow-up shot will fire when expected. But with the new changes, Rare admits that players may be unintentionally penalized if performing the old animation cancel methods for swapping weapons. This is a huge problem. In this clip, I shoot with my Eye of Reach, then perform a quote-unquote quick swap. In Season 9, this would have allowed me to almost immediately aim and fire my second weapon. Watch what happens in Season 10. Instead of trying to shoot my weapon right away, I sprint a lap around the entire island without losing sprint speed, far longer than the intended 1.5 second shot delay between weapons. Did you see it? 24 seconds between shots, and my gun still glitches out without firing immediately. If preventing people from firing too quickly is the goal, then I should be able to immediately aim and fire my weapon after 24 seconds, no matter what. But in Season 10, I can't, because I sprinted. These types of inconsistencies are especially punishing during PvP fights, where having an expected action not occur can completely change the course of a fight. I want to highlight a few more examples of shot timing. Here I sprint and I'm able to shoot twice in 1.78 seconds. Next I shoot without sprinting, and I'm able to shoot 2 shots in 1.55 seconds. Now let's watch an example where I sprint like I did on the island. As I push an imaginary enemy below deck, I try to fire my blunderbuss, only to get double animation because I sprinted after swapping. This time I let my weapon fully animate before sprinting, then go down to fire. 2.27 seconds, a full second faster. So why am I showing you all these timings? Well, the whole reason this fix was implemented was because supposedly people were shooting too fast between shots. But did shooting at quick swap speeds actually change the outcome of fights? Here's Season 9 quick swap speed again. In the previous clips, I could shoot with full animation in about 1.5 seconds. Here, it's 1.02 seconds. So you know what? Let's just test it. I jumped into a random server and recruited somebody I found doing a skull fort.
I don't know if you're aware, but they changed some things with two guns lately, with how fast you can shoot, and how you switch your weapons. So I wanted to see if it's possible to eat before somebody shoots the gun 2 times. So what I want to do is, like, I want to, when I shoot you with this gun once, I want you to try to take a bite before I can switch to the second gun and shoot. But don't take a bite until you get hit by the first gun. Okay? Alright, so here I go. I'm going to shoot you, and then as soon as you get hit, try to take a bite of that pineapple. Okay. Here we go.
As you can see, he was unable to out-eat a normal 2-tap. I didn't cancel animations, I didn't shoot faster than intended, just 2 full animation weapon swaps. Since this pirate had been so generous with his time to help me perform those tests, I decided to help him stack up the loot from the fort. And in the process, I learned that he had recently come back to the game.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking, so did you know about those changes I was talking about? I don't know how much you play this game.
I heard just a little bit about them, but I didn't pay much attention to it 'cause, frankly, I'm not that great at the PvP, so I don't try to sweat it out.
Like, how much do you play this game?
I've only recently picked it back up. I played it back, I think, like 2018-ish.
What do you think about changes like that as a player that doesn't PvP very much?
I mean, in an instance like that, it's more of just they play more than me, so they learn the mechanics. It's how it is with any game that's got PvP, you know? There's a mechanic, people will find it. I mean, it may not be something I necessarily like, but at the same time, I mean, it's not much I can do about it. I just kind of accept it and do the best I can.
We finished loading up the loot and I was about to hop off, but then he said something that I found interesting and related to this video.
You have a great day.
Thank you for not being one of the toxic ones.
You know, I mean, I do a lot of PvP, I do a lot of fighting, but I don't do it to, like, give people a bad day. It's just part of the game, you know? It's what makes it fun, at least for me. Sorry, go ahead.
The other day that came across me, and I had absolutely nothing on my ship, and they saw it. I even messaged one of them, told them I was just doing tall tales at the moment, and I had nothing, and they continued to just sink my shit anyways.
And I don't know if you saw that, but there's a new mode called Safer Seas as well, where you'll be able to do...
I'm definitely, my tall tales and shit, when I go to finally finish all of those out, I'm going to do it in Safer Seas, just so I can get it done.
This is why the change to quick swap is so frustrating. When you look at everything this person's saying about the game, and you look at his skill level versus someone like me that plays 7 days a week for hours and hours, he was never a threat to me at any point had I wanted to fight him. Me shooting half a second slower wasn't going to change the outcome if I had decided I wanted to sink this guy and take his loot. In my opinion, Rare had already solved the problem. Safer Seas addresses exactly what most of the complaints are about: losing to crews or pirates that are significantly more experienced than them. Safer Seas gives inexperienced people and crews a way to avoid the experienced ones. And they can progress pretty far in Safer Seas. Yes, eventually they'll have to venture to high seas if they want to progress further than you can in Safer Seas. But when they do eventually visit the high seas, their perception of sinking to an experienced crew is not going to be any different than it was prior to the quick swap change. Since I originally started recording this video, Sea of Thieves has released another Spotlight update featuring Drew Stevens. In this update, Drew acknowledged a number of issues present in Season 10. Most importantly, he acknowledged the issues that have surfaced as a result of the quick swap fix, which I highlighted earlier in this video. While I'm grateful they acknowledged the issue and are making it a priority to fix and smooth it out, it doesn't seem like they understand that it hasn't changed anything. I really wish they would just admit they were wrong and go back to the old way of swapping. There's no reason to spend more money and more dev time on an issue that wasn't a problem in the first place. Experienced crews will continue sinking inexperienced crews. Sure, sometimes they'll get the upper hand and kill the experienced attacker that boards them, but switching weapons won't matter when they forget to eat and get one shot. Shooting speed isn't going to matter when the guy's trying to raise the sail, his boat sinking, engulfed in flames while an enemy's on board. And even when we get punished for quick swapping on our second shot after whiffing the first one we should have hit, that crew will still sink in the end because they just didn't have the experience necessary to win the fight. Now you know what's myth and what's not. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. If you'd like to come by and say hi while I'm live on Twitch, I typically stream Sea of Thieves every day except Tuesdays, usually starting somewhere between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. My primary crew is my wife, Jacinda, and one of my coworkers, Pepe Lopez, but I also sail on all boat sizes with quite a few other creators as well. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you around.